Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big statements coming over here from Phil Spencer and kind of a rewording on what they're saying in regards to the future of the PlayStation 5, Call of Duty, and also other, presumably, Activision games. Now, we've had a little bit more like a leakage of information coming out throughout this past week or so, as we've been kind of seeing these big head honchos do a little bit more court battles, more court statements, and while sometimes it's only like a finer tune, like smaller change, sometimes that actual wordage in the change is pretty big. So at least just based on everything they've said, this seems like this is really good news in regards to PlayStation users. I think as well probably good news in terms of the Xbox acquisition, if these wordage are actually followed through on and actually consider it, so keep that in mind. And as well, we have a little bit of quick God of War Ragnarok news, which is actually at the end of the day also pretty cool. So we got a lot of stuff to go talk about, a lot of things to go mention as well, because we did just go and have a Best Buy restock, or if you guys missed the weekly restock video, go check that on out. But also let me know if you guys did get lucky on the Best Buy PlayStation drop today. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the $500 giveaway for either the PS5, Xbox, or as well just for the $500 cash. We also have the Twitter and Twitch streams down below. We also, if you guys want to follow for those bonus entries, and of course the Target and Amazon links as well. So a big thing to kind of go and note when it comes to this is that PlayStation and Call of Duty have been the big battle. PlayStation obviously wants to keep it, but a lot of folks are calling out PlayStation for having such a big, wide, like, kind of competitive edge in terms of double experience weekends, early betas, and you basically had to pre-order the game to play the betas. So that means that if people wanted to check out the game, they want to play it, they want to get it, whatever it may be, they had to pre-order, and obviously they'd probably do that on PlayStation because they had it first. Limited edition characters, longer term support, even other various PlayStation games such as Destiny even had like individual custom maps that were only available for PlayStation users. Now Xbox is trying to buy that, so we're getting some scrutiny on the PlayStation side. Xbox is trying to be like, nah, PlayStation's big enough, and there is probably a good reason for it. But the big thing is still on Call of Duty. But we had a brand new statement as of like recently over here in regards to the Call of Duty acquisition and Activision acquisition with Xbox, where they go and quote this: as long as there's PlayStation, Call of Duty will release on it, according to Xbox boss Phil Spencer. Now, this is kind of a big thing to kind of go and note, because when it comes to all of this stuff, it seems like they're finally kind of, I don't want to say they're 100% because they like, using terms like intend or want to is not the same as will. Like until there's like a proper contract in the courts themselves or a long-term experience where it's like this will be open perpetuality, everyone should be skeptical. Now, I'm not anti-Xbox at all. I have Xbox Game Pass, I have a PS5 myself. It's whatever. I just like playing games. But it is always good to know, because you could always say like, yeah, we intend to, and then literally the second the deal is done, be like, yeah, well, we don't intend to anymore. And that's, I think, why Jim Ryan's a little bit skeptical, and maybe even UK regulators, American regulators, because until they have that saying, yes, for the next 30 years, no matter what, as long as Call of Duty exists, you can release it. Now, this is kind of a big thing, is like, this is like, we had like a 60% wordage before. Now, this is bumping up to kind of more people want to see, but I feel like they're almost trying to get away with the wording the best they can. Because as of right now, there's still like, we'll talk about it, but this is good. This is like a good step towards the acquisition, and if they stay true, so people can still play games like Call of Duty on the PS5, 10 years from now, I got zero issues with it. Like, you go and give like PlayStation maybe like lesser terms, like you see how Xbox gets these early accesses and Game Pass, etc. That'd be cool if they had that. Like, that'd be cool if they kind of switch places with PlayStation and they get that instead. But when it comes to this stuff, we don't know. We just don't know the contract. So chatty Xbox chief Phil Spencer has now reiterated, once again, Microsoft's commitment to releasing Call of Duty on PlayStation platforms, with his statements strengthening every time. That's kind of what it means. Like, you start off with like a 50, and then you get a little bit more kickbacks. So you're like, yeah, we intend to. And then at some point, you have to have them just literally go and say, we will be releasing Call of Duty on PlayStation if we could work in a deal. Now, like I said, until that actually happens, people are going to be skeptical. Like, you could have like your best friend say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you back. Oh yeah, I'm going to pay you back. Yeah, I'll pay you back maybe next week. No, at some point, if you're owed money, or like, this is a random example, you want them to be like, this Friday the 13th, I'm getting paid. I will be paying you the money I owe you. You don't want to say like, yeah, we'll pay you soon, or in the next few weeks, because then people could always push it back. They could say they changed their mind, whatever it might be. Or like, hey, do you want to show up at my party? Yeah, I might. No, you want to have like a yes or no. Yeah, I intend to. But if someone said, yeah, I intend to hang out with you, or I intend to spend time with you, intend to make dinner, yeah, they still might do it, but it's not a 100%. Hopefully, like, I'm being a little harpy on these, but hope you guys know what I mean. So basically, when it comes to this one, the trillion-dollar tech juggernaut battles to get its set near $70 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard over the line. and the suit has said that Call of Duty will continue to release on Sony systems. As long as there's a PlayStation out there to go ship to, we will be releasing Call of Duty on it. So in other words, if there's a PlayStation in shops, Call of Duty will be available on it. Now, I don't want to harp on this too much. I think this is good news. I think if I title for my YouTube video, I'll probably say this is good news. Because this is big. Like, this is like the big hurdle. If PlayStation users can keep Call of Duty, I don't think many folks are going to be that upset. At the same time, like, there's not that many huge exclusives when it comes to Activision. And in theory, it's probably worthwhile for Microsoft to get games like Overwatch or even like, other various games out there on all these consoles. So keep that in mind. So, good news. If Call of Duty and Xbox stay true to their word and they stick with this the next 10, 20, 30 years, I would say this is good news. I would say this is great news, if anything. But once again, this intended terms and like we want to, etc., it's just kind of weird. So we'll see. But anyway, this is good. I'm kind of harping, but I think it's good. So regulators are still unsure of whether the greenlight Microsoft's proposed buyout with Call of Duty a big sticking point. Sony has argued that its business will be irreparably damaged should the acquisition go through, while Xbox has been eager to point out that they will continue to release on PlayStation regardless. Sony bigwig Jim Ryan recently went public saying about an inadequate offer his company has received from Microsoft, which pledged to keep the first-person shooter on PlayStation for only 3 years after the current agreement his firm has with Activision Blizzard. And that's why a lot of folks keep on going into this too as well, because the next line's a big one. Which is, the latest comments from Spencer seem to go further than that, though. Our intent, once again, is not like we are going to do this. They have to still work out legal terms. It's still good. It's getting better, but it's still not fully in there. Our intent is not to remove Call of Duty, and as long as there's a PlayStation out there to ship to, our intent, once again, though, not what we're going to be doing no matter what, which is our intent, that could always be changed in the future, is that we'll continue to ship Call of Duty on PlayStation, similar to what we've done with Minecraft since we own that. We've expanded the places where people can play Minecraft. We have introduced the places, and it's been good. It's been good for the Minecraft community, and in my opinion, we want to do the same thing when we think a Call of Duty can go over the years. So once again, I think this is good news. I think it's not bad. I think it's something we should celebrate. I think it's nice. But at the end of the day, it does kind of go to show that, well, their intent could always go and change as time goes on. Now, I still want to see the proper legal filings because that 3-year is really small. Like, granted, that would give Call of Duty, I think, like, 5 years or so because it's on top of the current contract as well. So, like, that does give them, 5 years to make a new in-house studio, some FPS games, test out some old IPs, such as maybe Killzone. But at the same time, Call of Duty is a huge, huge franchise. So, I just want to see, a proper statement if Xbox wants to do this, where no matter what, they'll be releasing future games and future iterations. Because it's kind of different with Minecraft. Minecraft is a one-time game sale, and then obviously gets updates, versus Call of Duty where there's a new one every year or 2 years, I think, with the new current life cycle, such as, say, think like FIFAs or Maddens. You could be like, yeah, we'll totally have Madden on console, and then you're stuck on Madden 23 when it's 2029. So it's always a big issue. But I would say good news, though. We're getting some nicer statements. We're getting closer in the resolution, and their intent and the words are getting closer as well. So I would say this rounds up to good news, and I do have faith in Xbox and Phil Spencer as well. And a reminder, too, why this is such a big deal, because even today, this is currently now the biggest Call of Duty launch ever. So basically, Infinity Ward and Activision had the biggest PlayStation Store launch ever for a Call of Duty game. This is also including pre-orders and day one sales, which is why PlayStation's even making this tweet and why PlayStation wants to keep it for such a long time. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is now available both on the PS4 and PS5, as I'm sure you guys know. I've checked it out. The campaign's nice. Multiplayer's not bad. But as you guys can see, it's one of the biggest games out there, and that's why, and they're also still breaking records, so that's kind of why PlayStation wants to go and keep it. So we'll keep on getting more updates for that. Now, to kind of wind down the video too as well, we had God of War Ragnarok. Nice little quick little update over here, where there actually is going to be a brand new transmog armor system, which I kind of liked because some of the armor in the original 2018 God of War was kind of lame. Let's be honest, it was a little stupid, a little lame. You want to make, just want to make him look cool. You're playing as a god. You want to go look like a god. So some kind of little fun features. There's a lot more other stuff coming out as well. So the big thing is yes, basically you're saying, hey, I like seeing fashion. I like making them look cool. One request in 2018 was the ability to maybe have the stats you want, but give them a transmog. And thankfully for them, we have me here go and say the short answer is yes. There is a way to do it. it's there in the game, and quite a few other cool little mini features. We've seen like, telegraph mode, like, picture mode, and a few other various accessibility options. So God of War still be shaping up to be really cool, and I can't wait to play it. So give me your thoughts and comments down below as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for the $500 giveaway. We have the $500 PS5, Xbox, or cash itself. Twitter and Twitch room down below for bonus entries. We have the Weeble and Target itself too as well down below. And you want to know what? Give me your thoughts as well. I always want to hear your thoughts on this PlayStation Xbox acquisition drama.